how do we go about this then? Do we ask them to shoot their questions? Okay. First brief you about the exhibition, then you can.
Okay. First of all, we are very happy today because after a long gap of 3 years, we've been able to meet face to face, which is very important in a manufacturing setup. We are not in a virtual industry. Everything happens physical, so this cannot be, there absolutely cannot be any more pleasurable moment than to see all of our member companies, visitors, people who use our equipment to see that together. We are very happy with the response that we have received. The total space that has got occupied is about 3,000 square meters, which is very, very encouraging. These are all spread across 3 halls, halls 2, 3 and 4. There are 350 plus exhibitors. Again, very encouraging, and participation from 19 different countries. All of you are still aware that the countries have not opened up. Many countries have not opened up. There are partial restrictions. People are still hesitant. Still getting 19 countries to participate across from European countries to some of the Asian countries is very, very encouraging. We expect a footfall of about 40,000 plus visitors during this show. 2 things that we try to do different is keep the flavor, keep the essence of the so-called traditional conventional manufacturing in metal forming, but our focus is also to showcase Atmanirbhar products that our member companies are doing, and this time we have allocated a separate space so that we bring in that focus, and that can be a big motivation to our member companies. So there's a separate area for Atmanirbhar Pavilion. Also an area to interact with the college. The academia is another very important aspect if we want to grow the manufacturing. We want to bring manufacturing as the first recall amongst the academia, which over a few decades in India has been losing shine. So we are trying to make that attempt as well, connecting the academia with the industry. And about 20 institutes are participating in that. All of you are aware that modern manufacturing has seen a lot of electronics and so-called information technology, the IT, coming into shop floors. It's been happening for the last 3-4 years. COVID would have accelerated it, but it's not because of COVID that digital manufacturing has come to manufacturing. And that's going to be the future. That's how India can make a big leap in manufacturing using our strength of digital knowledge, bringing to the conventional manufacturing. And all the next jump that people are talking about, it's a little bit early for us to talk in India, but Industry 5.0, it's purely about people, which is a strength in India, which is about whatever we did in Smart in Industry 4.0, which again is a strength in India. So if you do this amalgamation properly of IT and conventional manufacturing, I think the next couple of decades in manufacturing can belong to India, not going the traditional way. So that's been an attempt for giving focus on digital manufacturing, which includes Industry 4.0 and additive manufacturing. So I'll leave it at that and then answer some of the questions as we go forward. Thank you.
From IMTEX forming, metal forming only, or is it
There's different products as well. So like you have a robo. Yeah, it may not be related only to forming, it can be used for cutting as well, or any other assembly process or any other manufacturing process. So it's not only strictly to forming. See, 1/6. 1/6. We didn't select it. We interacted definitely, but we didn't select. But the quality itself is so high that I don't think there's a need for. And we are only seeing that it will increase going forward.
If I may add, the main criterion was that the product should be of high technology, modern, and has potential for import substitution. Atmanirbhar is about being self-reliant. So we left it to the companies to suggest their products. As President said, we have not selected them. Whatever qualified under that, we have accepted.
And we are very happy with the, I mean, if we look at those things, I think we are very happy with the level of technology that they are displaying, each one of them. I'll tell about the machine tool industry in general, then we'll go to the forming. The production from a machine tool point of view, we are 11th globally, positioned 11th globally as per the calendar year 2021, because the global rankings are done by Gartner on a calendar year basis. With the normally the total production is close to 2021 is about 9,000 crores. I mean, these are numbers which can vary plus minus a little bit, but close to 9,000 crores. And a mix normally of forming and cutting is in the ratio of 30 to 70. It varies from product to product, but the import content can vary anything from 5% to 25%, but depends on the product to product. The encouraging thing is many of the forming people have started becoming complete indigenous, including control systems, which is very, very encouraging.
Digital manufacturing, as our president said, is the trend that is, overtaking normal conventional mechanical manufacturing. So we wanted to bring to the attention of the industries that everything from design all the way to the manufacture of a product is now based on IT. As President said, IT has made major inroads into manufacturing. You start with an IT in design, then you do production planning in computers. You do machines are operated by computers, as you can see. The entire production management system is computerized. Today, even the links to the external world, to your suppliers, to your buyers, to your taxation authorities, everything is computerized. And the whole atmosphere is also now supported by Industry 4.0, which is a means of locally monitoring the production process. And we have new technologies like additive manufacturing, which are entirely digital. The design is digital and the manufacturing is digital. There is no cutting tool or anything of that kind. So India cannot be left behind. As the President said, we have IT strengths and we should leverage that. And digital manufacturing is being adopted by all the companies. So we said we'll form a separate pavilion for that and showcase what our capabilities are.
When you say digital, we are not meaning shop floor. It is starting way ahead of shop floor from the customer touch point and then going to the design. Today, design goes directly to the machine, right? Including during the making of the machine. right? So you can ask any MTB today what is the status of your machine. They will be able to digitally show you or tell you. So digital is used by the machine tool builders themselves to build their machines, to connecting the whole ecosystem of suppliers. So it is like machine today has become a social animal. It is like you and me. You just compare us. Machine is like that. It has its brain. It has its skeleton. It has its neural system like we have. So it behaves the same way. It also needs friends like us. So no machine today is an individual machine. It talks to another machine. No machine is, you know, uncommunicative. It is communicative like us. If we get a fever, we send a message to the doctor. Today the machine can automatically send the oil in the machine has become hot and send it to their doctor, the machine doctor, which is the maintenance person. So a machine today is a social animal. That's how the modern manufacturing is. So digital starts way ahead of anything getting produced to much later than things are getting produced to the life of the machine or the manufacturing system.
What were the challenges basically IMTMA faced in organizing this exhibition? It comes after 30 months, it's a long time. A lot of COVID or pandemic still there. So what were the challenges faced and how we are able to come out?
No, good question, thank you so much. I think that's a huge effort put by the IMTMA team. We were to have this exhibition in January, but again, we didn't want to take any risk because the priority for us was the safety of everybody who comes to that the exhibition. It may be the exhibitors or the visitors. So we were overcautious on this, and we have done everything. The team has looked at very minute things that we don't do anything which can create inconvenience to anybody from a health reason. So we're very happy with whatever the team has done, and it was a big challenge for us.
Upcoming engineers and encourage them to come to manufacturing industry.
Thank you. Again, good question. I'll just ask Mr. Mohanram to elaborate, but this is one attempt. But we have a very long history of having a training center and a design institute, and that's focus of IMTMA to prepare engineers, operators, and not only people from BE and BTech, but ITIs, diploma holders, everybody to different levels of skill to be ready for the industry. Right? So, Mr. Mondra, would you like to add further?
As far as academia interface is concerned, we have a regular program at every IMTEX where we ask academic institutions to present their research work in metal cutting, manufacturing, production technology, whatever they are doing. And we have pavilions for them. You must have seen the Academia Pavilion. We also have a system by which we call some experts to assess these projects which they are presenting. And at the end of the day, towards the end of the exhibition, we also give them some sort of recognition in terms of a prize or a certificate. That is to enthuse them to see that they do a lot of work, practical work in research into production technology, machine tools, and bring it and show it to the industry. So that is our academia. Another component of the academia interface is that we ask colleges to depute 2 people. We take about 25 colleges, obviously it cannot be too big a group. It's Jagriti. Let's say we get 40 people. Those people are paid to visit Bangalore, and our people take them around the exhibition for 2-3 days. And then we have, in this very room, we have a small interaction to see what they have learned, what they have observed. And then we tell them why it is important for them to be in manufacturing. We try to give them that enthusiasm. So there are 2. One is on the R&D side, one is on the, what you say, make them come to manufacturing. We do both at every exhibition.
That's a wonderful initiative, very important to do.
And they become messengers and spread it. We can't bring more people, but to show that, because it's a lot of mindset issue in our institutes, that manufacturing is tough, manufacturing is dirty, manufacturing is not where modern technology is used, and we want to change that mindset.
That is again one question for forming assets. Earlier forming was all about bending, cutting, laser cutting and all these things. Now additive manufacturing is playing a huge role. So there is a major shift we can see when the advanced technology comes in. So how IMTMA see, because comparing to cutting forming is definitely a very small show, but with additive manufacturing, those kind of new technologies coming up, maybe there are hybrid machines which comes both. So how do you see the future of IMTEX forming?
No, it will take a different shape. Definitely, additive manufacturing will add to the wider range that's available, because the traditional way of bending and all is not going away. It's going to be there. But modern machines are going to come which are faster, more different ways of doing it. It's going to happen. But additive adds to the flavor of that. So it's widening of that. But as you said, additive will find in both the exhibitions, and they find their use in both the forms, in cutting as well as in forming. So it's an added range that we have. We didn't have, say for example, in an automobile, we didn't have the race cars. Now this is one more thing got added. So adding to the flavor.
Somebody on the table to ask some question. There are also some people online, I think, waiting. So let's give them a chance.
Vanakkam. I would like to know what is the opportunity you are giving for the startups in this exhibition from your side?
Okay, we have encouraged, but I'm not sure how many startups are there.
Colleges are there. On the startup side, of course, we have not concentrated much of it, but the colleges which are there, a couple of the colleges are inbuilt startups which are specifically being put up here. Is what can see some of that.
You can give some special privilege to the startups, and you can encourage the young team and the new entrepreneurs here.
See, Jagruti is one of the way we are trying to do it.
Yeah, that Jagati is related to institutions, right?
No, see, what we're trying to do with Jagruti is basically when the students come in here, this was started about five or 6 years back, and we are finding it very difficult for students coming into the shows. So we had to show that the machine tool is just not only cutting the old machines which are there. There's a lot of electronics, there's a lot of computers, there's a lot of robotics, and this is what the new generation needs. So basically, in the Jagruti, what we try to do here is we are actually taking the students along with a very senior technical person along with them. If you imagine a group of students just going around this show, many of the stall people would maybe not interact with them the way they want to interact. But this Jagruti specifically goes with them, and we take them to specific stalls and explain to them, and we request this particular thing. So that's the way we are trying to get in more of the people into these particular programs. And startups, as you said, as and when we have many startups coming into this mechanical industry or machine group, definitely we as an association would definitely like to do something. We are started on it.
There is also an understanding generally that startups are only in computers and IT and all that. Actually, it is easy to do a startup in IT technology because all you need is a desk and a computer. You can do it at home. A lot of startups starts in garages. We know about Apple, about this and that. Everybody knows. But in production technology oriented, this thing is difficult to start startup because you need to invest some money. Some of the companies that you see here in Atmanirbhar, you can turn them as production technology startups. Those who have done additive manufacturing initially, some small robotics systems, some small demonstration of sensors, feedback elements. These are all startups in a way. So I would say that you will find at least about half a dozen companies who are working on these aspects when you go to the Atmanirbhar pavilion. But a startup in an IT industry or a general definition of a startup cannot apply here. It's a little different.
So I have one small question, maybe a bit out of the track. While you are talking about this digital manufacturing and all, with that a big amount of risk is also involved. Because any software, any IT system is vulnerable. And it has been happening, I don't want to name the country, you know which country can attack anything. what kind of protection are you taking? Or is there any display or any store or any discussion on that in this?
Okay, when you talk about Industry 4.0, which is about digitization in the shop floors, security is a major thing. You are absolutely correct about it, and one of the major things that people look at is security, right? Otherwise, doing digitization is the easiest thing to do in a manufacturing. Why is it so slow of adoption? This is the primary reason, right? Leave the big things, you know, who will stop your machine or not stop your machine, but even data, even the process knowledge is very critical, and if it's, you know, that's the bread and butter of people. So security is a major thing. People spend a lot of time and money on that, and that's where manufacturing actually is too cautious to do that. And once people feel comfortable that the security levels are fairly good, I think this will speed up. So it's an excellent question, and I think the top priority of Industry 4.0 is security.
Sir, we are exactly 7 months away from the IMTEX what is the preparation going on and how big is it?
Guru, want to add? I'll ask my colleague who's day in and day out into the.
I think the industries are waiting for 2023, no doubt about it. I can tell you in terms of the numbers that we are currently in, we are almost now 60% to what we want to achieve in 2023. Yes, we have to catch up a long way. A lot of international inquiries have come in, which will be converted in the next 7 months. So yes, we want to bring back the glory of the IMTEX cutting. The last was in 2019, so it's coming after almost 4 years. So strong, encouraging response coming from not only from Indian companies, also from the international countries. And once the forming is over, I think we have to roll our sleeves and start working on it. And I assure you that the glory of IMTEX 2023 will come back in full force. So at this point in time, we are about 60% of what we are.
By then, all 5 is also going to be coming up.
Hall 5 will be filled up, definitely. In fact, we will fill up all the halls. We will fill up even the hangar, which is in front of Tech Center. And there are some very encouraging, attractive plans. We might even fill up some parking space if it is required. So we will definitely gear up to do not only for India, but not only for Asia, but world's largest metal cutting show that we want to aim for in the going forward years.
So you have already achieved 60% of it. So what is the size you are expecting? The number will
We have kept ourselves about 52,000 square meters of net space as a target. But yeah, I think we will cover it up.
No, we're sure we'll cover it up, and the success, the enthusiasm of this forming exhibition will translate into a bigger success.
Anybody from down the table or even those who are online? If there are no further questions, can we bring this interaction to a close?
Well, thank you very
Thank you
much,
very
and
much.
I appreciate your time.